My name is Bill Lathrop, and I died from sudden cardiac death 3,752 days ago. My hobbies are running and fishing and being with my family. My family means everything to me, my wife and I. We've been together for 45 years, and we've been married for over 40, and our family's everything to us. After this event, I can remember still, I was in the hospital for, I think, for 2 weeks.
I woke up with him making a horrible gurgling sound in the middle of the night and realized that air was simply gone in his body and he was no longer breathing. And then I called 911.
My mom called me about midnight, and I was 40 weeks pregnant at the time, so I was the one that was going to be making the middle of the night phone call. She called me and said, "Your dad's had a heart attack." I just couldn't believe that. There was no indication that would happen to him.
First time I'm meeting Bill was at the hospital. He was comatose. Once we stabilized him, which is with medications, he was still critically ill, we rushed him to the cardiac catheterization lab. At that time, we had just initiated therapeutic hypothermia. He was probably one of the first patients in town to have it done. We had just started this protocol where we cooled the patient down for 24 to 48 hours, and then we wake them up to preserve brain function.
It was very scary that we didn't know anybody else that had done the hypothermia process, and so we were very afraid that it wouldn't work. And if Dr. Alexander gave us that hint of hope, we absolutely jumped on the opportunity and said, yes, please do what you can to save him.
And ultimately, Bill required the placement of a pacemaker cardioverter defibrillator to help treat sudden cardiac death, and so far has been extremely successful. When somebody has a cardiac arrest, there's a 60 to 80% chance they may not survive. And those that survive may have some serious residual problems. Fortunately, Bill had very prompt, careful cardiac care and survived nicely, and has been able to resume slowly with his exercise program and medications.
Number one advice I'd give everybody is thank God every day for another day. One of the things that I've told a lot of people in the years since, dying will give you a different perspective on living. I'd run 8 miles just a couple of days before, and this heart trouble was nowhere on my radar or even a concern. You know, the American Heart Association and the studies that they continually do with the doctors and hospitals and things, it's amazing the research and the dedication that so many of these doctors and nurses and folks have, and you know, I would encourage people to support the American Heart Association and the doctors and hospitals that use their research money.